Hey friends, thanks for tuning in. This is a podcast where I speak on feelings, sex, friendship, and whatever else makes you uncomfortable. Join me on my journey as I give you something worth listening to. Ladies, gentlemen, friends, whores, welcome back to another episode of Something Worth Listening to. Now, last week I told you that I was going to be recording in my closet from now on. Things have changed because I saw a bug in there. And no, I didn't kill it. By the time I grabbed my balls, it was gone. You know how you look away and when you look back, it's gone? Yeah, I don't like bugs. And it was a centipede. So I really don't like centipedes. Don't fuck with them. If I see it, I go the other way. I can't. And it's crazy because I'm so much bigger than a fucking centipede. But that thing got more legs than me. It's ugly and it's scary. So I figured I'd try to record my episode in my room. Here I am under some kind of fort. Why a fort? Because it blocks out the sound. I have neighbors and they handle their business and you hear it. So y'all can hear me clear without the bzzz. Any background noise. Probably will hear some background noise, but point is, it works. I just look fucking crazy. I'll post something on my Instagram so you guys know what I'm talking about. So I know I also mentioned last week that I needed to get back on having like topics. Actually, I could do what I want, but I would like to get back on actual topics for episodes. So I'm sure you can tell by this title, you can put together what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about our first time doing anything. That includes sex, getting drunk, smoking weed, getting high, not just weed, kissing a girl, kissing a boy, first fight, first pregnancy scare, literally everything. First on my list, I have sex. So, first time having sex was senior year of high school. I was a late bloomer and I don't feel ashamed about that. It was with a guy. He was like 2 years younger than me. That's so embarrassing. And let me tell you, this was not like the romantic movies. There were no sparks flying. There was no magic. There was pain. Just simply pain. Okay? It hurt. It did not feel good. And especially because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing and he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. One thing I will say, and I am proud of, is that we lost our virginity to each other. So that was good. I expected to be like all romanticized and be all obsessed with him after, but I really wasn't. In fact, it went the opposite direction. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm over you. And I just stopped talking to him. He probably felt so used and abused, that poor boy. But look, whatever. First time getting drunk, also my senior year of high school. I was with my old best friend and her older sister and her older sister's best friend. It was a great time. I remember I had the polka dot onesie with the owl on the butt and my hair was in box braids. Ugh, middle school, high school, my hair was always in box braids. So embarrassing. But we were getting drunk. I don't know what the fuck I was drinking, if we're being honest, but I just drank it. And it was great. Being fun makes me happy. Being drunk makes me happy. It makes me excited. I have a great time, especially because I don't have a filter. And surprisingly, the no filter side of me didn't get me in trouble. The problem is I just do a lot of cringy shit when I'm drunk. That's like the embarrassing part. And I'm here in 2020 and I'll think of every little cringy, weirdo, disgusting, thing that I've done in 2015. And I would just be disgusted. Knowing these people have moved on, they probably don't even think about it anymore. They don't even remember. And I'm the only one like, oh my God. Da, 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 da. I'm way too hard on myself. The next story I have for you, actually it's not a story, I'm capped because I don't even remember. I don't remember the first time I smoked weed. I just remember how it made me feel. So when they say, people remember how you make them feel, yeah, it's true. I don't like smoking weed. It's honestly the worst. Like, it makes me feel sad, fucks with my psyche. Like, it makes me feel like whoever I'm with is out to get me. They're out against me, or I start feeling like really bad about myself. And I just hate that. Or not even just smoking weed. It's anytime I get high. I used to smoke like a motherfucking chimney, okay? In like 2016, 17. When I got to 2018, I just realized like it's just not for me. I was tired of feeling so sad and so down. And not for nothing, that shit made me slow. I mean, I was kind of like slow before, but that shit fucking made me even slower. Like, I feel like when people meet me, they're like, what's wrong with her? you know? But I'm just blaming the weed. I think it was the weed. I think that shit fucked with my brain. And whether anyone says anything or not, it's just a simple fact of you smoking does something to you. Smoking, not just cigarettes, cause the emphysema that can lead to the breathing problems that can lead to the cancer. So it's not just a simple fact of you smoking weed or you don't smoke cigarettes. It's just a simple fact of you smoking, period. Just wanted to throw that out there. If I'm wrong, write in. Something Worth Listening To by Ken on Insta. First time getting high with an e-pill. Okay, I did this twice. And the first time I took a little baby crack of a pill, it wasn't anything, well, I was under the impression that it wasn't anything that was gonna like hit me for real. Bitch, when I tell you that thing had me high, that shit had me high as hell. I was high until the next day, bro. No cap. The next day, like, I was with my friend and she was like, oh, like, let's go shopping. And I'm looking at her like, bitch, you want to go shopping? Me, I'm slumped, drained, done. But to be fair, I was drinking and smoking bud when I took the e-pill. I'm shocked I didn't die, to be honest. God still has a plan for me. But she got up the next morning and was like, let's go shopping. And she went. She sure did. And of course, you know, I went with her. But it was like the worst. I'd never felt so like sluggish in my entire life. I mean, it was cool. It was fun in the moment because I was high as fuck. But the coming down from it, not even worth the high. I feel like you come down longer than you're high. Like, it's just, nah. And it's crazy because this was the same group of friends that I would like hang out with in Jersey. And my mom, she would know what the fuck I would be up to. At least I wasn't out there fucking. That's good. I just was out there drinking my ass off, smoking my ass off, and trying all types of drugs. Sorry, mom. Okay. The second time I did it, I was high, of course, but it wasn't as effective to me anyways, because maybe I didn't smoke while I did it, but I was drinking. They say you're not supposed to drink or smoke while you do an e-pill. But again, it was only like another little crack. It was another small piece. So maybe that's why I didn't get as much of a reaction as I did the first time. I don't know, who knows? But I felt the same way coming down. It just sluggish, drainy. I'm good. I just realized I don't like to feel like that. I'm good off feeling like that. Honestly, go ahead. Try any drug you want to. But for me, E was my limit. Acid, shrooms, meth, crack, Coke. Coke scares the fuck out of me. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't know why. It just scares me. I was actually offered Coke by someone one time. And that was the first time I did the e-pill. The same night I think I did the e-pill is when I was offered. I watched a girl do Coke. It wasn't a line. She put it on her hand and she sniffed it up the nostril. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I don't know if this is anyone else's reaction, but my first thought immediately when I get scared is my mother, okay? I don't know why. I just think, oh my God, mommy, I need my mom. And this is me at like 19 still calling for my mother, but I don't give a fuck. I'll call for my mom until the day that I die, okay? So she snorted the Coke and then she put more on her hand, the same hand she snorted it from. And she looked at me and she offered, do you want some? And she was so nice when she offered, very nice. But I just was like, no, thank you. And I kept on drinking my wine cooler and minding my business. But in my head, I was like, Ma, come get me. I don't know who these people are. I don't know where the fuck I am. Just come get me. I promise I'll never hang out with them again. Coke is just scary. Coke is scary. But, you know, I ended up fine. Didn't do Coke, thank God. But hey, if you do Coke, that's you. Try it once. I feel like you should try everything once. Why not? But just for me, I'm good. Weed, alcohol. And I stopped there. On to the next subject. Kissing a girl. Ooh la la. I kissed a girl and I liked it. The taste of her cherry chapstick. I remember when that song came out. It was me, my brothers, and my dad. The music video was on. And he got upset at the screen and he was just like, freaking lesbian. And he changed the channel, right? But when he said that, it did something to me. I think I've always liked girls or always knew that I had some kind of attraction towards females because it made me feel like, damn, I don't even remember how old I was, but I knew at that moment I was thinking about females how I think about males. So my brothers were laughing like, ha ha ha, that's funny, you know, genuinely laughing. And I pulled a ha 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 ha, like, just because, like, damn, my dad hates lesbians, so I can't even tell him that I like females, like, ever. It's just one of those coming out stories. So I only say that because I don't know why I said that, actually. But let's get on to the story of me kissing a girl. So we were playing a game. Who was playing a game, bitch? It was me, my cousin, and this other girl that I went to school with, or my neighbor. She lives around the corner or some shit like that. I forgot. And this is gonna sound so weird, but we were playing like one of those pretend games. And there was a part where it was like, oh, give me a kiss. And I thought we were gonna fake kiss, not even touch lips, not even go cheek to cheek, nothing. But she full on came in and slobbered like in my mouth. I don't know if my cousin remembers this. I never brought it up ever again because that's embarrassing and like, ew, you know, just ew. And I remember like I pulled back away from her because ew, you know, you got slobber all over my face, like, bitch. And I didn't even think she was really gonna kiss me. That's why it was like weird. I'm like, I thought we were just pretending. So when she leaned in, I leaned out. Like, I don't think I've ever told that story, but that's the first time I kissed a girl. The first time I kissed a girl and liked it, I was a senior in high school. Oh my God, everything. I've done everything in high school, literally, like all in one. My first relationship, high school. My first relationship with a female, high school. First relationship with a male was in 2018, I believe. So I dibble and dabble in both ways. On to the next one, my first fight. My first fight was with a girl over a boy, and I think this is in first grade. This is another cringy story too. The girl's name was, we're gonna call her Rhea, right? And the guy's name, we're gonna call him Paulie. Me and Rhea used to go back and forth over Paulie all first grade, okay? Like, oh, 1 minute that was my boyfriend, that was her boyfriend, that was my boyfriend, that was her boyfriend. The typical story of a man pinning two women against each other when they should be going for the man. I have a bad memory. But what I do remember from this fight was she had said to me, "You want him so bad, Kendra? You can have him here." So she took his hand and she walked him. Technically, she dragged him from the other side of the table and put him down next to me as if this was a still object. And she's like, "You can have him." And I said, "No, I don't want him. You could have him." And then I took his hand and put him right back around the table to where she was sitting at. And she goes, "I don't want him. You could have him." I'm like, "I don't want him. I don't even care about him." And this poor little boy, Paulie, he's like looking at us back and forth, just back and forth. He's not saying anything. And me and Rhea, we're just going back and forth with each other, just arguing like, "I don't want him. You can have him. Keep him. He's yours. No, he's yours." And that was my first fight over a boy. But when I was in elementary school, PS188 in the Bronx, I used to fight all the time. It was so bad. No cap. Now I'm a good person. I calm down or whatever. Sometimes I wish I still could just up and smack bitches like I used to. But that wouldn't be the right thing to do. Whatever. All right, guys. Last but not least, this one is kind of touchy. I'm not sure if others have been through it. But just know I am here for support if anyone ever wants to talk, anyone ever wants to reach out, because I know how this feels. All right. First, pregnancy scare. Now, turns out that my first pregnancy scare, I was actually pregnant. Yeah, the worst of luck, right? It was with a guy that I had no intention on doing anything with, meaning relationship wise, him being my friend, like none of that. It was just a go, which it was for like a while. And then in December of last year, I was pregnant, and I knew that I was pregnant. I just knew it. I had sex with him after I'd had my period for the month. So all that was left to do was wait till January. But by the time my period was supposed to come in January, I already knew I was pregnant. I found out on New Year's Eve officially because I just went to go get a pregnancy test. That was simple. Shit was like $1. Or maybe I stole it. I forgot. Anyways, for those of you who know me now, oh, well, what happened, Kendra? You don't have a kid now. My first pregnancy turned into my first miscarriage. Now, this is something that I can talk about now. just because I feel like in some weird spiritual way, I got a chance to kiss my baby goodbye. I was 6 weeks and it was the worst fucking pain you could ever have like in your life as a female. All right, ladies, think about your period cramps there all the time, just on 100. And then when it slows down, but they don't stop. It's just less intense. I remember going to the hospital, telling my parents, technically the other way around. I told my mom and then I went into the hospital because that's when I was miscarriaging. It was like 11 o'clock at night and it woke me up out of my sleep because I was feeling like I was in pain. Now, I didn't tell my mother or my father prior because I just felt like I would be looked at as a shame. You know, shit happens. I just didn't want them to look at me different because the guy was not my boyfriend. He did not intend on being my boyfriend. And I just didn't want them to think like I was a whore. I know I joke and I call myself a whore now, but I know that I'm not. And I didn't want them to look at me in that way. If you have an open and honest relationship with your parents, good for you. And I don't say that in a sarcastic way. It kind of did sound like sarcastic. But appreciate that because sometimes, although my parents come off as open-minded, they're not. And I feel like if the miscarriage did not happen and I did have a full-on baby, that side eye would always kind of be there. And hey, look, I love my parents. I do. I have problems with them, but so does everyone else. No one has a perfect relationship with their parents. But I just know for a fact that side eye would have always been there. Things happen for a reason. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't my time. Look, I went through what I went through. I know other people, they go through what they go through as well. Again, if anybody wants to reach out and speak, I'm here because it's more common than you think. You know, just because you have a miscarriage doesn't mean that there's something necessarily wrong with you. It just meant that it wasn't your time. Some people don't make good babies together. And that's not even me talking shit. That's a genetic thing. Sometimes people don't make babies together. If they do make a baby, the baby does not stay in the womb full term. Just things happen. Life happens. And we all have to find a way to deal, to heal, and to process. Or maybe I said that backwards. To deal, to process, to heal. Yeah, some shit. I don't know. Straight off the dome, though. That's all I could say. I had asked some of you dirty little whores about your first time doing things. I got some responses. Thank you for writing in so I don't look like a motherfucking crazy person again. So someone wrote in and said, my first time getting drunk, I fell on my ass. Look, I know you felt that in the morning. Just saying. Another person wrote in, my first kiss was awkward as hell because it was both our first kisses. Plus, he was shorter than me. Oh my God. Damn, sis. My bad. Damn. That's always kind of awkward. Not that there's anything wrong with short men, but it's just always awkward when you're taller than him. This last one was the one that led me to talk about the pregnancy scare. My first pregnancy scare, a bitch was dead ass pregnant. And I'm like, same, sis. Same. So was it really a pregnancy scare? Because technically a pregnancy scare is like you end up not being pregnant. But yeah, bitch, both of us, we ended up being pregnant as fuck. One thing I will say though is that I'm glad that I went through that because I know now that I'm able to get pregnant. I had some weird fear in me that I was never going to be able to get pregnant. I don't know why. I just have a lot of health issues, so I kind of just tagged that on top of it. So if I'm looking positively, I'll have a baby when it's my time. And that was my last one. Actually, my last first time. If you guys think of any first times, don't hesitate to write in. SWLT by Ken. That's the Instagram. I was thinking about making a Facebook too. Someone recommended I should make a Facebook. And you already know the drill. Thank you. Appreciate you guys who share, who listen, who respond. Don't forget to leave me a rating if you haven't. Apparently those are important. I wasn't really going to care to ask for that, but those are important. So please, please, please leave me a rating, leave a comment, leave a review. I'll see you friends next week, Tuesday. Bye.